Building AI systems that businesses pay $10,000 to $20,000 for is pretty simple once you know the process I'm about to share with you. And I can say it's simple because I've actually done it. I've been running businesses for over a decade now. In my last company, I was on Shark Tank, and in the last 12 months, I made $350,000 selling AI systems to businesses. Now, what I've seen over this time frame is that most people trying to do this are massively overcomplicating it. They're geeking out on AI, building systems nobody asked for, and then sitting there wondering why businesses won't pay them. But once you flip that, you realize that you don't need to be technical. You just need to solve painful problems business owners actually have. So in this video, I'm going to break down that exact process. I'll show you how to figure out what to build so you're not wasting time on stuff nobody wants. Then how to actually build it even if you have zero technical skills. And finally, how to sell it without making ridiculous claims or feeling like a sleazy marketer. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So what we're gonna do is run through how to build AI systems for businesses for $10,000 to $20,000 in 2026. And the first place we always start, which you can see on the screen here, is who is the person that you are building for. The person is the most important part of an AI growth consulting business. What everyone gets wrong is they say, oh yeah, I do AI and automations, and then I say, cool, you're like everyone else. So I've got a bit of a matrix that I run through all my clients with, and it looks a bit like this. So when it comes to building AI for businesses, you always need to start with the who at the macro. So who, what, how. Business owners, what you're doing, you're solving problems, and how we're doing it is with tech. So it might not always be AI. And I've made a lot of money just installing a simple automation for a company that generated 3,000 leads, and it literally cost them $99 a month. But the actual consulting and putting it all together has generated millions of dollars in sales and revenue for that company. What are you trying to do? Well, you're looking for businesses with high dollar value of transactions. So what I mean by that, if you charge $5,000 to a cafe, they need to sell 1,000 cups of coffee. So they need 1,000 different customers or 1,000 different transactions to make that $5,000 back. $5 coffees 1,000 times, right? Whereas if you sell to a construction company, they'll sell a house for $1 million. So if you can help them get an extra customer, you know, they're not making $1 million profit, but they'll sell a house for $1 million. So $1,000 or $5,000 for them is not a lot of money. What you're gonna do is you're either gonna increase revenue or decrease costs. That's as simple as it needs to be. And how you're gonna do it, AI, 4D demand matrix, which is cold outbound, warm outbound, ads and content, or you're gonna use some sort of automation, which comes in the tech, right? And then for you, you require domain expertise. So you need to understand their problems and understand what it is that you're actually trying to help them with, or you're just gonna sound like a retard and not be able to help these business owners. And then what you're doing is you're gonna get paid in relation to the problem that you solve. I'm gonna show you that further along in the video. And all that we're really doing is leveraging information arbitrage, which is you know something that they don't and the business owner can't go do them themselves. So now, we're talking about who is the person that you're building for. Well, I've got a massive list, and this is no means extensive. And these are the types of businesses, they have high ticket sales, right? So, you know, home improvement and construction, so I've already spoken to that. Health and wellness, you know, gyms, I have a long history with gyms. I used to own 7, but I don't have them in here. You want like stuff that's more high ticket, more higher end, right? Professional services, automotive and transport. So just think where businesses are and their ticket size is very high and they spend a lot of money. That means you can charge them a lot of money because you're going to help them make a lot of money. Education and training, events, technology, and you know, other luxury service. So that's step 1. That is the who is the person that you are building for. And then how to know what to build, right? And this is where so many people get stuck, building stuff that people don't actually want. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this prompt and then we're gonna go over to Claude and then we're gonna paste that in there. I like making it so the lines, it reads really well. And you can see in this prompt, you're a world-class AI growth consultant who knows how to create offers that people say yes to. I'm looking to build an AI system that can sell to construction industry. Construction was on the top of this list. It's very simple and it's not a client that I have done anything before. So I just want to go in it completely cold without my biases of the clients that I have worked with in the past. Now, what you're going to do is you want to hit research, and research gives you the ability to go really deep and it gives you a lot of information. So it's going to scour a lot of sources and go a lot deeper than a normal search. So now we've got deep research on, we're just going to hit enter. And what that is doing now is just going through and it's going to pull through a lot of research. While this is doing this research, it's what I really want to make a point of is make sure you're just solving a problem. And that's where the best entrepreneurs and the best people in business, they win. They solve expensive problems. I'm not trying to get really nerdy and try to geek out or anything. I'm using this research to come through and actually find a problem. So now we've got a couple of questions. Target segment, business function, and then market insights. So we're going to small to mid residential, business functions. So again, if you do have an area of interest, right? This is talking about interest, so lead gen, sales pipeline. I'm just going to leave it blank. You tell me, and then no connections. And what it's going to do now is it's just going to do the research, and we're just really trying to find a good offer that jumps out to us and that we know it's going to be super easy to fulfill on. Okay, so our deep research is done. It was going for 8 minutes and 2 seconds, looked through 484 sources. And we're looking at things with potential annual value of 150 to 250,000 for builders. So in the report, we can see it costs them 300 billion annually, and 24.9% of builders made zero net profit in 2024. So that is something to think about. We know that this industry is not like 1 in 4 builders aren't making money, so there's a lot of opportunity to help them actually make some money. And construction costs, and it's super important when you're going through this deep research, you actually read through it and understand the problem. So now when we're looking at it, so lead response represents fastest path to revenue. And this is something I talk about a lot. Speed to lead is one of the biggest levers that you can pull in a business to help them make more money. MIT studies, lots of proof that if you just respond to your leads faster, you will make more money. So this is something that we can do really easily with AI. And then, so we're just looking through the report, slower leads, 47 hour average response time. And that is actually crazy. So we can come in and build an epic offer on this. What we're just going through, and it's even got like the solution here. So, Go High Level, if you're not familiar with, I've built a lot on that and made a lot of money on Go High Level, and I've even white labeled it for myself. And then something like Make to do the automation. Payment delays drains 280 billion from the industry. Now this is something that's a big problem, but would I suggest going after it, becoming a debt collector? No, there's a lot other easier ways to make money. Estimating errors, and okay, so account for 20% of the total project costs and cause 52% of project delays. So that is $32,000 lost in project per project. So if you can help them make that better, you can save them $32,000 in lost projects. Subcontractor coordination failures triggers 31 billions in annual rework. And this is where, a subcontractor which goes in and does the work for a construction company, so it might be an electrician or HVAC or roofer or something like that, then that can cause issues. And in all of these, there is an automation solution that we can look at. Schedule delays affect 98% of projects at $2,639 per home. And that is crazy. So these are some crazy stats that you can work with and put together some really epic offers. Time tracking and management leaks 7% of labor budgets. Client communication gaps destroy referral pipelines worth $8,000 per lead. Now that is another really cool number that we can work with. Automation, so GHL is going to be able to do a lot of this stuff, and it's great that Claude's actually recommended it. Tracking delays cost $35,000, so again, can you work with that? But yeah, that is a bottleneck. So you can see from this deep research that we've got a lot of very expensive problems that if you can go to a construction company or a mid-sized construction company that we've mentioned here, you can help them make a lot of money. And then the good news is pain points, universal, measurable, and urgent. So these make perfect customers. Every builder deals with slow payments, estimating, technology adoption, that is great. So again, we're just looking at it. So the most accessible entry points for automation providers include lead response time. So now we've even got this table that shows what we need to do. So now if we go back into here and we look, how do we build it, right? So, how to know what to build, we've nailed that. So now we're gonna look at how to build it even with zero tech skills. So let's look at this. I think the speed to lead is one of the biggest ones that we wanna do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take this and we're just gonna go into here. I'm just gonna say, explain me step by step how to build this flow construction. So now what we're doing now is we're just taking what the AI has told us and getting the AI to explain it step by step. And that's how we get AI to actually build it. Inside of Go High Level, you can actually get a AI automation workflow. So you just write in the prompt and it will do the work for you, which I'm just about to show you. So here we go. We've got set up what you need to start, make, GHL, make, and Twilio. Get your assets, do all these kinds of things. So, okay. What we're going to do here is build your lead capture forms, sites GHL forms, and then Form A, quick estimate request, Form B, schedule consultations, create your pipelines. So it's telling you how to actually do all of these things. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is step 3, create a prompt that I can use in GHL workflows. So, and you can see in here, it's actually just telling you literally every single step that you need to do. And then you can actually get AI to do half the work for you. So I'm gonna show you how to do this really quickly. But yeah, this is very in depth. And if you just follow this, and then if you get stuck with any of these, you just ask AI to help you out. And the first time you build something, it's not gonna be 2 to 3 hours, right? Might take you 5, might take you 10, or you can get it outsourced and get someone else to actually do all this for you, which I've done plenty of times. So what I've done now, for step 3, create a prompt that I can use in GHL workflows. Okay, it hasn't done it properly here, which is interesting. But what I'm gonna show you on my screen is if I just go to my GHL and then I go to automations, and you can see here, AI builder enabled. So I go, got it, and then go build using AI. So what I was looking for is it to actually give me a prompt for this. And that's where you can see here, after sending a proposal, wait 24 hours and send SMS follow-up. So that's what GHL is powerful to do. So what I'm gonna go back into, but you can see how it's all built all of this out. And you've got a full $15,000, $20,000 system in one prompt. And that is the power of AI now. You can actually get things built so fast that it actually blows my mind. I've been doing GHL since May of 2020. So I've been on there and I've just seen it evolve so much, and now what it can do is absolutely insane. So you've got all of the different versions for the different things, some emails, the internal notifications. You've got, everything that you need now to go and absolutely crush and offer. So that's how you can actually build it with AI. And what I'm just going to put in here is just create a speed to lead triggers when someone feels. So you can see here now what this is doing. I was hoping to get a prompt that I could paste right in here, but what I can show you now is a workflow where the AI will actually do all that building. So it's like the next step where you don't actually have to do all of this stuff. The AI inside of GHL will actually do it for you. And then you can get it to update things and actually just absolutely crush it for you. So that's how we actually build it. So how do we actually position our offer? And this is where so many people get it wrong. They talk about, oh, I'm an AI automation, or I do this, I do that, and the business owners don't actually care. You position it by using a really simple statement. So, developers or construction companies use AI to solve the speed to lead problem without ever having to pick up the phone. And we just use a really simple statement to create that positioning and solve the problems and then speak to the pain points that they have. So that's really how we position the offer. We don't need to make it this big complicated statement. All that we need to do is really just speak to the problems that they solve and then the pain points that they have. Now, the next step in here. So how do we actually price that? So what we want to look at here is, the report will tell you how to price it. So for a residential builder spending $227 per lead, a slow response transfer, if 10 leads per month go cold, that's $27,000 in annual lead costs, plus the value of the contracts that went to faster competitors. So again, now we're talking about if it's 2 to 3 contracts that went to a competitor, now it just really depends on what price that these guys sell their homes. So, what we can look at there is if it's, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million home, well, 3 deals, it could cost them $10 million. So we can help you how you can another $10 million revenue for just $10,000. And that's how we price the offer. If we know that they're spending $27,000 in annual lead costs, well then we'd want to do it 10% of that. So $250 a month. But the more that we can anchor to a super high price point, the more and more compelling that our pricing needs to be. So that is how we price the offer. If we looked at other things on here, the other things that like the estimating, okay, so it's $32,000 in lost profit. So if that's happening on 10 builds a year, it's costing them $320,000. So we could charge them $30,000 or $2,500 a month to make sure that that doesn't happen. So again, with your pricing, anchor it to whatever it is the problem that you're solving. And that's kind of what I said back in here. You get paid in relation to the problem that you solve. So now I've looped that back for you. Now, how to sell it without being sleazy. And the best way I found to sell AI is to just demo it. So again, seeing is believing. So with the speed to lead example, and I've actually sold this thing multiple times myself. I reckon I've sold it 15 or 20 different businesses, just using an agent to speak to their leads via text message as soon as they opt in from Facebook ads, Google ads, or on their website. And all that I do is say, hey, Mr. Business Owner, I know you're running Facebook ads, or I know you're generating a lot of leads, but are you speaking to them all right away? And they go, no. It's like, let me show you something that can do this. And then I basically just send them a link with an agent. They talk through it and they go, this is great. Yeah, let's do it. And that's how I got started in AI growth consulting. I basically put up a Facebook post, which I'll put on the screen here. I had a guy message me, go, yep, I need this. And then I basically went back and forward. He went through the demo and he was like, yep, cool. And then he sent me $5,000 straight away. So that's how to sell it without being sleazy. Just get them to demo it and get them to see how it's actually going to solve their problem. So you don't need these big, long sales spiels. You don't need crazy guarantees. You don't, you don't pay, like all of that stuff you don't actually need, because you're solving problems. And if people can see you know how to solve their problem, it's going to become a lot easier to sell to them without these big, long sales processes. That's really all there is to it. You find a problem that's actually painful, then you build a simple system that solves it, you price it at a fraction of the value it creates, and then let the demo do the selling. Now, if you want to take this seriously, I put together something that goes way deeper than what I could cover in a YouTube video. I go through the exact niches that are paying premium prices for this right now, the specific tools I use to build these systems without writing a single line of code, and the exact outreach scripts that actually get responses, then the positioning that makes businesses say yes without you having to convince them. It's the same stuff I used to make $350,000 in the last 12 months. And it's the same stuff my students use to close their first $10,000 to $20,000 deals within weeks. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. Other than that, I appreciate you and I will see you in the next one.